hang on a moment.
In today's Breaking Truths, the Register Evader, formerly known as Prince, now he just goes by Andrew, I believe, is to give up all of his titles and honours, including Duke of York. What do you think about this? Do comment below. Yeah, he's the paedophile formerly known as Prince. I'm not sure. I mean, how's he going to reinvent himself? You know what I mean? Prince Andrew was a stage name, right? ZZ Top, Led Zeppelin, Prince Andrew. It was there. Andrew, again, not mugging him off. He doesn't deserve that. It's not a mononym. Madonna. Sinatra, right? There's not like there's some names that work. Andrew is a very standard issue, so I don't see it happening for him. Is he going to reinvent himself as a symbol, perhaps? Oh, that would be good. He desperately needs a new stage name. Now he's relinquished his formal titles. What do you think about this? In other truths, Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau spotted kissing on a yacht. Now, obviously, Justin Trudeau, he's the former Prime Minister of the British colony of Canada, and he was seen snogging the desperately to remain irrelevant and in the picture cited, fuck me, German metrosexual Katy Perry. No, I'm sorry, she looks like a Swedish DJ from the 2010s. Who thought that was a good image? Oh, Christ. No, I'm all for women aging gracefully. This is not how you do it, sweetheart. What is that? If you remember in the past, honestly, dear old Justin, he could do better, I'll be honest. In the past, I've spoken about Miss Perry, desperate to remain relevant. I've already spoken about it. We had a resolution with the UN Council. We all, as a world, decided Katy Perry is done. She had her moment in the 2010s with Teenage Dream and Raw and the other one. And we move on now. Okay, some artists, Madonna, some artists, whether it be Justin Bieber or Drake or The Weeknd, all Canadian, by the way, weird that, they have staying power. They stay in the conversation, they stay culturally relevant. Fine. Katy Perry is not one of those, right? No. And it's quite sad that she's desperate to remain part of the conversation. I've already told her, personally, I had her on the phone, listen, sweetheart, you've got to give it up. Do the Las Vegas circuit. Do the Celine Dion, also a Canadian. Very strange. Do the, Las Vegas joint. Don't be doing this. Don't be doing that aging pop star routine. It just makes everyone sad. It makes everyone depressed. It makes people really... It reminds people of their own fucking mortality. And pop music isn't about that. Pop music's for the kids. So, yeah, she was seen hard making out with former Premier of the British Overseas Territory of Canada. Of course, some Canadians will very politely attempt to correct me by saying Canada is a, quote, independent nation. One thing to say about that. Can you tell me who your current head of state is? I will wait. So she was, she was all over him. Hands all over him. He had hands in places he didn't realise fucking well existed. And this is like a big gossip thing at the moment. What do you think about that? Give me some yummy engagement. Are they a good fit? Of course, when the world was saying fuck Trudeau, Miss Perry was a woman of action. We've got a lot of pop culture slop in this one. The last one was very political. This one is just going to be... It's just like a fucking chicken muck. It's a chicken muck beef bucket of just shit. She does though. Oh, she looks like a German metrosexual who would advertise smart fridges. Oh yes, and you press this button and all of a sudden there is television on the screen. In other truths, America's next top welfare queen and supposed libertarian quack president, Milei, you know, the Argentiguan bastard, he has now taken a fat handout from Daddy, as they so often fucking well do, $40 billion propping up the failing libertarian experiment over there. Of course, show of hands, who saw this coming? Just me? Alright, okay. I knew this was going to happen before his fucking inauguration. This always happens. Libertarianism fails everywhere it is implemented. Maybe not immediately, but it always fails. Okay? Communism fails, libertarianism fails, fascism fails. The only politics you should be dealing with is benevolent, authoritarian socialism. That is the only way forward. We need to resurrect Clement Attlee, put his corpse in a fucking mech, yeah, a Terminator. We need Attlee Terminator, and that's the Labour Party. Okay, we can eviscerate the corporate fucking backbenchers. He's got a red glowing eye now. That's the sound it makes as he sort of vaporises the leader of the opposition. That is my politics. Real Huey Long shit. I am going to make your life materially better and you can't fucking stop me. Okay, real... You know, yeah, I'll be a dictator. Yeah, I'll break the rules. Yeah, I may jail some of my political opponents. But when my political opponents are against feeding our kids, frankly, they should be vaporised via red glowing laser beam eye. Alright? No, that's my politics. Obviously, if you know something about me, dear viewer, I don't do politics. I never talk about politics, but this is the rare occasion where I will. Okay, we need a Mecha Attlee. That's what we need. We need Attlee reanimated via Terminator. Okay? That's exactly what we fucking well need. And expand the NHS, form the National Care Service. It will be so easy. Okay, for all the wibble wobbling, from all the fucking semi-vertebrates who never want to do anything. It'll be so easy. Where's the money going to come from? I will tell you very clearly where the money comes from. Okay? This is a bit of a rant. I'm going on a bit of a rant now. We sink Christ knows how much money in private care. Okay? I'm talking elderly care. I'm talking child care. You name it. The money's there, mate. The money's already sloshing about. So let's funnel that money towards a nationalised system. You can call it socialism. I call it common sense. I call it taking what belongs to this country and putting it back in the hands of the country. Yeah? If that makes me some fucking, I don't know, pinko Maoist, so fucking be it. I can sleep at night knowing that. Sorry, yeah, Argentigua. They've got some libertarian fucking nuttery over there. Obviously, Argentigua never recovered from their humiliating defeat against us. The RGs didn't stand a fucking chance. Don't enjoy a lot of the late Thatcher. But when it comes to the Falklands, she is a little bit goated. All right, we can admit that. We can admit that. I didn't like her for anything else. But when it comes to us doing a war and fucking decimating it, it was beautiful, really. The last thing this country won, dear viewer, do you know how much that breaks my heart? Back when we were a fucking superpower, and look at us now, the honorary vassal state of a dying American empire. But yeah, long story short, Argentigua, much like a teenager, they've crashed the car again. They've wrapped the family Chevy round a tree. And Daddy, as per usual, has had to bail them out. This always happens with libertarianism. It always will happen with libertarianism. They hate the idea of welfare for our poor, our sick, our disabled, our elderly, our children. But they love a good handout for them and their rich fucking financier friends. So spare me, obviously. This is a good thing, of course. We need more very visible examples of libertarianism being done and failing. I mean, I deemed it a failure when over 50% of the Argentinian population was in poverty. I'm sorry, no, that's French Revolution territory. That's we put your head on a fucking pike levels of austerity. You know. If you thought the decade and a bit of austerity politics here was bad, fuck me. Over half of your country, half of your citizens are in poverty. That's treason. You've committed treason against your people at that point, and it should be treated as such. Because I'm a nationalist. Some would say I'm a nationalist socialist, but I think those German bastards sullied that term. So I'll call myself a socialist nationalist. I'm a new breed. Yeah, I'm a new type of mental, just lunacy. But yeah, don't be a libertarian, don't be a Nazi. All of these ideologies are for losers. The only objectively correct brand of politics is benevolent, authoritarian socialism. Alright? That's what we fucking need. Dig up Attlee, put him in a fucking mech, reanimate him, vaporise Starmer, vaporise Farage, and let's get to work. Yeah, let's bring back our fucking industry. Bring back British Steel. And here is, of course, a picture of the president with the child molester I keep seeing on my timeline. Good to see him there. Not sure the relevance.
Give me your money now. Give me your money, or you're a child molester.
In other truths, Dan and Phil are dating. Fanny's real, Fanny's real, Fanny's real, Fanny's refugee Jack, Judicus. It's one of these bloody foreign words. Yeah, this is absolutely shook, I believe the children are saying. It's shook the net here. This has shocked absolutely no one. Yeah, I know vaguely of these two gentlemen. These two queens here. Yeah, apparently they've been in a relationship for 14 years. Basically, the entirety of their online tenure, they've been a thing, essentially. Dan and Phil, I know of them. Is this Dan? Dan's on fire? Phil's a bit damp? Is that it? Dan's on fire and Phil's a bit damp? You didn't think they'd work, but then again, opposites attract. I mean, what do you want me to say about this, dear viewer? There hasn't been a lot of headline truths, and when I cover the headline truths, I get 17 views in a fortnight. So, I'm a little bit, disillusioned with the whole game. Did you notice, dear viewer? I did another video on the Titanic being a hoax. Titan isn't, right? And then, within 24 hours of that video going up, I finger you not, you probably experienced it firsthand, my view piglet. There was a worldwide YouTube outage. What are the fucking chances of that? Now, I'm not saying YouTube.com are benevolent overlords. Deliberately shut the website down. Shut it down! Shut it down! To essentially cut all traffic to my video. Do check it out. I break more truths on Titanic believer lists, now using AI to dupe people into believing this ship existed. Their whole narrative is falling apart. The walls are caving in. The ship ideologically is very much sinking here. So I'm not saying YouTube are in cahoots with Titanic believerists. I'm not saying YouTube deliberately siphoned all viewership, all traffic that video could have gotten by shutting the website down for several hours a few days back now. I'm not saying that. But it does make you think. But yeah, Dan and Phil, these two lovely individuals, turns out they've been in a relationship for a while. What next? You're going to tell me Smosh have been bumming this whole... You're going to tell me Smosh have been bumming this whole time? Really? Stop lying to me. But yeah, please do check out the Titanism video, my latest on the channel. It is, you know, it's eye-opening, really. They are stopping at nothing to keep this lie going. And it goes deep, believe me. This is just the tip of the iceberg. In other truths, Bashar al-Assad now lives quietly in a luxury tower in Moscow, reportedly addicted to spending long hours playing online video games. This, according to Zazite, Dazite. I haven't slept in like 25 hours. Give me some fucking leeway here. Yeah, the former dictator of Syria, he's got a light bulb head. Really? No. He didn't get it as badly. Look at, I swear to God, go to this man's dad's Wikipedia page. What the fuck are they feeding these people? What gene is that? Like, is this like a, I mean, not to sound racialist, is this an ethnic thing? Like Syrians, they kind of pass as the Portuguese, but like light bulb heads like fucking like bulbs. I don't know what that is. Like he, not so much. A little bit. I mean, the image on screen, you can see it, right? Head like a fucking light bulb. His dad, we're getting it up. No, I'm sorry, we're getting it up. I will get to the story at hand. Bashar, his dad is just a white guy with a light bulb head. I have never seen anything like it. It is so fucking strange. Look at this man. Head like a fucking peanut. And what is that? Is that some sort of like water on the brain situation? Like if it is like a legitimate defect, I am so sorry. I'm not being disablephobic. I did not know. But if that's just like normal, if you can be born like that, can we do some research? I mean, I've got some really smart people watching these videos, okay? Not doctors and scientists, but I've got people that are in gainful employment / higher education, okay? I've got real fucking academics watching these videos. So if I can we get like a team of researchers on this? What is that? Comment below. Why does he have a head like a light bulb? I have never seen that. Is that just like is that a Syrian thing? What is that? What's in the water? What are they putting in the... Sorry, no, I did need to get on that. That was important to the story. I promise this is going somewhere. And now I've got to screenshot the dad so I can put it in the video. Yeah, Bashar, if you remember, he was formerly the sort of supreme deliciousness of Syria. Our lovely granddad, his supreme deliciousness. And he was ousted by rebel forces, essentially. And now he's in some fucking condominium in Russia, essentially just playing Fortnite. Fortnite and Pogger and all of these space age fucking computer games. The kids are zapping and zipping and booping and blopping them. Boo, 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 boo. Like, honestly, anything post PlayStation 2, Shrek the Second on PlayStation 2, you might as well be speaking backwards Spanish, mate. I don't know what that is. Pokemon Go to the polls. Is that pop culture? Am I doing the pop culture? Yeah, he plays the Fortnite. He plays the Among Us. Uh, what's another popular game all the kids are playing these days? Minecraft. Yeah, he's grinding in survival mode. Maybe he's a fan of Roblox. Who knows? Imagine that. Imagine that. A bunch of 13-year-olds, a bunch of grown adults, a bunch of grown adults predating on those 13-year-olds and the former dictator of Syria. This sounds like the setup to a really bad joke. Rumours are circulating he's actually going to start his own gaming channel under the moniker Basharverse. Personally, Bashar was not my favourite dictator. You know, he had big boots to fill, obviously. It ran in the family. You know, this whole dictatorship, it ran in the family. He was actually, what was he? Was he an eye doctor in London? He was like just a normal bloke, just a regular fucking dude. And then his dad, Mr. fucking light bulb head like a light bulb, evidently no fucking ideas. He got deposed or something like that, and then he ended up being the top guy. He ended up being like the top cat in the area. He tried his best, bless him, didn't work out. He got fired via rebel insurrection. And yeah, he wasn't my favourite. I've always had a soft spot, and we could open this to the floor. We can have a conversation about this, you know, favourite dictators and the like. I've always liked Saddam. You know, he is like a Middle Eastern Santa Claus, right? And the way they found that man, they found him in a wank nest, surrounded by well-thumbed Playboy magazines and fun-sized Mars bars. Fucking heartbreaking. My goat did not deserve that. And before they found him, before the American Navy SEALs like tracked him down proper, they found like a warehouse. They found like a base. Saddam and his goons were kind of hiding out at. And on one of the computers they found there was DS emulators. There was like ROM save files for Animal Crossing Wild World, the Animal Crossing game on DS. And that brings me so much fucking joy. The idea of Saddam Hussein there, just ever so slightly giggling away to himself, making a little Iraq in his little digital world, planting turnips, muttering away to himself in Arabic. Oh, that's wonderful. And they killed that man. They executed that man. And, of course, like it so often is the case, dear viewer, America got involved in something that they had no business in, and they made the situation worse. When they deposed Saddam, it created a power vacuum. It led to the formation of ISIS. And this is my issue. This is issue 841.12 of my many issues with the American empire. They go somewhere, they fuck things up, and then they award themselves a gold medal. They give themselves the firmest congratulatory hand job for solving the issue they caused about a decade too late. And that was the situation here. They caused ISIS by taking out Saddam. Saddam was a really decent buffer zone between, like, he was like the thug king, basically. He was keeping the radical Muslimists at bay. And you took him out. So, I'm not the biggest fan of Bashar. I am, however, decently impartial to Saddam Hussein. Because the idea of this, like bloodless, ruthless dictator finding some childlike joy in Animal Crossing on the Nintendo DS via emulator, giggling away to himself as he conversates with the animal residents, and of course all the text is on the other side of the screen. Oh, that's beautiful. And they murdered that man. They are. And listen, I'm not defending Saddam Hussein. Obviously, he was a bad bloke. He was a gangster. But in a world filled to the brim with gangsters, this geezer was keeping the really bad dudes at bay. And there's a parallel universe where America used Iraq as, the guy instead of Israel. And who knows? Who knows what that world looks like? I don't know. Obviously, I condemn Saddam's views on Jewish. He had some rough statements on Jewish. I do not endorse the Anfal campaign, the genocide against the Kurds. He came to me at the time. He said, "Big man Earth apologist, I'm gonna wipe out the Kurdish people." And I told him, from a real place of concern and love, that sounds like a bit of an Anfal. And that's where he got the name from it, famously. Obviously, Wikipedia won't tell you that because they're a bunch of fucking liars. But the Anfal campaign comes from me telling Saddam, "Listen, mate, I love you. I think you're doing some really good progressive things in Iraq. Yeah, you're pro-women, you're pro-kids. What's not to love?" I feel that's going to be an Anfal. And he wrote it down. I noted at the time. He wrote something down. I tried to stop him. In other truths and closing this absolute clanger of a video, the latest adventure in low fidelity sound and imagery from your favourite person in the whole wide web, syntheticman, self-avowed neo-Nazi and closeted fruitcake, has been exposed for a video of someone that looks exactly like him doing some gay stuff on the internet. Again, I'm just going to read what he wrote. Do we do Mr. Scary? Alright, okay. Leftists have got... How do I do Mr. Scary? Maybe I do Trump. Do I do Trump or do I do Mr. Scary? Comment below. It's too late. Leftists have gotten so desperate to discredit me that they're now spreading around that gay porn video of that guy that looks like me again. Oh, I'm going to stop you there, Chief. How did he think that was a good look optically? How, when typing that, did not one iota of self-awareness reach your fucking cortex for you to realise, oh, fucking hell, the fact I've typed that and I'm going to publicly... Honestly, they're not sending their best. It's always the white supremacists, which are the least supreme white people, isn't it? Have you ever noticed that? It's never like actual, like, high grade white people. It's always the fucking troglodytes. The worst of the worst of our fucking race. Where was I? Spreading around that gay porn video of that guy that looks like me again. And he goes on, as if the wound wasn't deep enough. He goes on, he continues, the one from 5 months ago. Oh, dear viewer, does that ever happen to you? Yeah, that video of someone that looks exactly like you doing some gay stuff on the internet resurfaces again. Oh, I hate it when that happens, dear viewer. I'm sorry, how did he think this was a good look? How is this, like, in any way, good PR for the guy? And he tries to defend himself. If it was real, it would be all over my Kiwi Farms lolcow page. That should be proof enough that it's not me. Good to know he's checking routinely his lolcow page. That doesn't reek of insecurity now, does it? And then he tries to pin the video to some other person. I imagine not a neo-Nazi. It was horrifying enough seeing a soy boy look-alike of yourself. I'll stop you there. Do you know what you look like? I mean, he's got Ryan Gosling in the icon, so you already know he's, again, pardon the French, a little bit of a... It's not enough to just be a closeted homosexual and project it onto innocent, like, perfectly fine gay people who have done nothing wrong. It's... Oh, it's honestly, he's up on the ceiling like Spider-Man, and the floor is made of self-awareness. He does not want to touch that shit. Soy boy look-alike of yourself deep-throating a dildo. Now people are spreading around and yeah, again, he continues to whine. So it's really unfortunate this neo-Nazi sex tape leaked again. My heart truly is with him. For those not in the loop, syntheticman, he's this deeply unfuckable, anti-charismatic, weird little virgin on the internet. He lives in a cupboard in his mother's house. He hates himself. He hates his viewers. He hates the video games he plays, even though they're his only fucking hobby in life. He's a miserable wreck, an absolute mess. Much like Nick Fuentes before him, this does remind me of the incident where Nick accidentally streamed hardcore gay pornography live on stream in 4K, and he actually blamed it on the Jews, I believe. So, to the shock and awe of no one, a neo-Nazi blames their crippling porn addiction on the Jews. I think he called it a Mossad psyop. So, that was at least entertaining. This is just grovelling, self-pitying, and it reeks of guilt, right? If I had any doubt this was the guy in the video, those doubts would be gone now. This, really. And this is the issue with terminally online neo-Nazis. Forget about the moral issues. Everyone else is whinging about the moral issues, and rightly so. Being a Nazi, it's wrong. Of course, we can agree with that. People in the real world that have girlfriends, they've got hobbies, they enjoy life. They know being a Nazi is wrong. But more than that, it's chronically fuckless behaviour. It is. It's really fuckless behaviour. And I feel that element of their pathopsychology needs to be examined. It needs to be pointed out more. Yeah, sure, these people believe, citation needed, in abhorrent things. Most of it is vice signalling, though. They are desperate for the approval of 13-year-olds on the internet. Same thing with Stone Toss. Same thing with any of these fucking niche-shite fuck muppets I cover. It's the same punchline every single time. They are desperate for someone, anyone, to think they're not an unfuckable, socially autistic little dweeb that lives in a cupboard in their mother's house. So they go online and they court the approval of 13-year-olds who think it's really based and really sigma and really red-pilled to hate women, to hate Jews, to hate minorities. People in the real world, adults, gainfully employed adults who go out and have friends, they don't think that's cool. They don't think that's Sigma. They don't think that's Sibao. They think that's really weird. And it makes women uncomfortable. And this geezer, Synthetic Man, of course, apt title, because he's not a real fucking man, he knows this, and he's deeply insecure. He's deeply insecure that he can't make eye contact with women. Women don't like him. Women are off-put by him, just by the smell, I imagine. His own parents want nothing to do with him. They're ashamed of him. They wanted him to be a fucking doctor. Here he is in a fucking wank nest, lit up only by the light of his monitors, playing games he supposedly hates because there's brown people in them. There's DEI hires in the games, whatever the fuck that means. Ranting and raving and whittling away about troons or insert slur here. It's loser behaviour. And if he could get laid, he would be getting laid. Instead of, once again, dear viewer, courting the approval of terminally online, maladjusted 13-year-olds who themselves are not getting enough parental attention. So they do. They go on 4chan and they think it's LOL's epic or whatever the fucking Gen Alpha terminology is. They think it's very bop. Yeah, they think it's incredibly based that Trump is zip-tying naked children, putting them in the back of a fucking FedEx van and disappearing them at midnight. They love that. They think that's very cool. Adults in the real world are horrified by that, though. So I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Yeah, he's a fucking dork. He's a socially autistic, deeply unlikable loser. And that's the point you need to drive home. Because all the while you make these people out as these big bad psychopaths. They're transphobes. They're misogynophobes. Did you hear what they said about brown people? Yeah, all the time you do that, you give them their kicks. They want you to do that. Because that, in their warped worldview, is you getting triggered. That is them triggering the libs. When instead you roll your eyes and, publicly humiliate them as failures, really. Genetic dead ends. This is the superior race, is it? Unable to leave the fucking house. Unable to make eye contact with wait staff. This is the Ubermensch, is it? Get real, honestly. And get a girlfriend, yeah? Have a shower. Do basic fucking hygiene. Work on developing a personality that doesn't revolve around minorities who don't even know you exist, mate. This is really bizarre behaviour. And, get a dog or something, anything. Get offline, mate, please. Get offline. And spend some time out in nature. And little by little, you'll feel better. You'll feel your soul. It comes back to you. The colour comes back to you. But no, he's not going to do that. He's continuing a downward spiral where he hates himself. He hates the only audience he can garner. And most of that audience are watching as entertainment. This guy has a lolcow page for a reason. He's a laughing stock. He's a joke. And he hates himself. And I'm a humanist. I'm a great humanist. I don't want people to be suffering. I want this geezer to splash some cold water on his face, snap out of it. No one is a Nazi when things are going good for them. Case in point, the actual fucking Nazis. The Germans needed real hardship before they ever even thought of voting for Hitler. Hitler was a fucking Fruit Loop before times got really tough with hyperinflation and the humiliation around Versailles and the humiliation of the First World War. And, the country they felt was basically being dismantled by Europe. Before that, though, Hitler was seen as like this quirky, eccentric weirdo. Even the actual Nazis weren't Nazis when their lives were good. Because it's not natural. It's not natural to be a bigot. It isn't. It's asocial, and we are social animals. We're ape-brained. We are ape-coded. So I don't see this as like a great moral failing. I see this as a spiritual illness. They are spiritually ill, deeply unfulfilled people, and they're fuckless losers. I have no idea where that rant came from. Yeah, his sex tape got leaked. He's blaming it on someone else. He's a closeted homosexual. He's an absolute closet case. Of course he is. Most of them are. If it's not a crippling interracial cuckold kink, it is being an out-and-out closeted homosexual. The amount of transphobes that secretly get off to you-know-what with you-know-who. It's the same punchline every single time. It's all projection. It always has been projection. They are vice signalling, desperate to court the approval of actual children on the internet because they're the only people that think they're cool. Tragic, really. This guy is tragic. Nick Fuentes is tragic. Don't be a fucking Nazi, all right? No one likes Nazis. And I'm not coming at it from a moral thing. I haven't appealed to morality once. I think you're a fucking loser, and I hope you get help.